Back, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. We're talking about this. It's more than just a spat, because you've got basically one candidate accusing another campaign of a crime. Money laundering is a crime, and he's using colorful language, but that's just, you don't... I was shocked when I saw this stuff from the campaign manager. Usually a surrogate, a pro-Bernie surrogate, sure. A Susan Sarandon, for example, would say something like this. But the head guy, what I kind of think this is, aside from the fact that, and here's what I find fascinating as well, because I looked, his OpenSecrets.org is just a sort of a website that collects public information, public data, and reports it. So they take and these sorts of things. They take FEC filings and the rest of it, and it can see exactly the numbers and where things are coming from. And the donors to the Victory for Hillary Fund, no PAC money has gone into this at all. It's all been individual contributions from different sorts of people related to different industries, and totaling about $60 million in this effort. I'm surprised, and at this stage of the game, to throw a bomb like this when you are virtually mathematically eliminated, when it's time for the party to start coalescing behind another candidate, when at this stage of the game, people were calling for Hillary to drop out in 2008. She didn't drop out until June, but there's intense pressure on her to get out of the race by now.
Yeah, well,
and she has a bigger lead than Barack did. And to throw something like this out there, I was really surprised to see it.
Well, one of the things that I think that you forget from that last election is the superdelegates. I don't quite understand that entire thing, but Hillary really had a lot of superdelegates in that last election.
No, she didn't, because she was one of the popular vote, but he was winning. He won all these delegates in all these caucus states, because the map. Yeah. It's impossible to compare the two vote for vote, because the map has changed.
It is, and it is.
But he was way ahead with the pledge delegates by that point.
Well,
she was counting on the super.
What you saying is, at this point now,
yes,
she was way behind in the superdelegates.
She was way behind. She was not way behind, because she was never way behind at all.
Yeah,
but she was behind in both pledge delegates and superdelegates, because the superdelegates were sort of moving towards him as he won Super Tuesday, as he won all these other states in between.
Yeah, because he really started to roll after the Republicans got him elected here in Iowa. I'm just going to throw that out there again. The bottom, for me, if you talk to Bernie supporters, they keep talking about how close it really is. That, he still has mathematical ability to be able to score some more delegates. And, particularly in fights like Indiana, it looks like he's doing well. It looks like he's starting to increase his lead. The problem is Lefty hit it right on the head. Everybody's calling for Hillary to drop out then. And what purpose does it serve to take a broadside at Hillary? Now, we all know that Lefty is, a giant skirt sniffer when it comes to Hillary. But I think Lefty here has a point. The point is, it's not going to serve your purpose in the long run to alienate the person who you want to be able to work with at the convention to get your planks on.
And we're going to move into that, right? Well, first, let's move into that here in a second. But what do you think? I mean, I think it's a terrible move. I think it's an unfair criticism. Although because they've spent $45 million. I was able to look at somehow that money was broken down. Direct contributions to the Clinton campaign, $4.5 million. 10% of the overall contributions that have been spent. That means that a lot more money has gone to other sources than to her. Yes. And it's a joint arm. It's a joint fundraising arm. So she's entitled to some of those contributions. So it's a really serious thing, I think, to be done now at this stage.
Well, I think one of the things that's prompting this is Bernie has been, and I think you mentioned it last week on the show. Bernie has been accused over and over of not helping anybody down ballot, but there's Hillary helping everybody she can down ballot.
Yep.
Going out of her way, and I don't like her, I don't agree with her, but she's out there working hard. And I think this is one of those things where they're throwing some stuff out there. I think it's a rotten eggs kind of thing, where he's upset because everybody's criticizing him about not helping anybody down ballot, and the one person who can is Hillary and Bill Clinton, because essentially they're one person, right? So the bottom line is here. I said that for you, Mom, because I know you're listening. I think Bernie is getting desperate. Whenever you're that close to winning and then it starts to go like that, you do things you don't normally do. And
it's uncharacteristically negative.
Yes, and I think this is really going to hurt the Bernie's ability to get anything that he wants on the Democratic platform.
And that's where we're going to move right now. So some of the talk that's come out of the some of the change in tone in the Bernie Sanders campaign has been, hey, we're pushing it's more than a presidential election, and we're pushing an agenda, and kind of didn't say that, hey, if Hillary wants my support, she needs to do things. He didn't make it conditional, but he did come out and say, well, if Hillary wants to do better with my supporters, maybe she should think about doing these sorts of things. Hillary's response is, boy, I didn't make demands on Barack Obama when I came out when he beat me in 2008. And while I think that's kind of tin-eared to some of the concerns of the Bernie Sanders supporters, I do wonder just how important it is and what kind of expectations game is being played here to say, hey, you know what, we're still fighting the good fight, but we're really worried about the Democratic platform that nobody reads, that nobody cares about, that I don't think that you could recite me 3 planks in the Democratic platform right now off the top of your head. 3 actual ones, not joke ones.
All right. Well, no, I couldn't.
Yeah. Could you recite 3 Republican planks of the official National Republican Party platform?
Oh man! Now you pimp me out.
No, but see, this is the point.
I actually got done. I was actually reading them here over the weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, rats.
Nobody knows them. Nobody cares because the party does what the party does.
Yep.
The party national parties do not follow national platforms to a T because you can't be that ideologically rigid all the time.
Well, and expect any large majority to vote for you.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
Exactly. So is it a feasible thing? I'll throw this back to you. Is it a feasible thing for Bernie to be moving this way into a national convention that is just going to be red meat for the liberal base anyway?
Well, yeah, I think that Bernie has a taste of some real power now. He's excited. I think that he's still going to have a voice in the Democratic convention. I just don't think that it helps him one way or another. When you're competing against somebody, when it's all said and done, particularly in politics, you go, well, hold on, this guy was pretty smart. That gal was pretty good. I want them on my team. I think a move like this just gets Bernie out of the way. I mean, who wants to get a mean old cantankerous guy up there now who, because let's face it, when you attack Hillary on a personal level like that, you lose. You just do. There is no reason to attack her on a personal level. Like the people that were, the Republicans that were attacking her through Bill Clinton and his affairs, where are they now? They're nowhere to be seen. You know why? Because that's bad form. And this is bad form on Bernie's behavior, Bernie's part. We got to wrap it up for this segment.
Yes,
what do you want to talk about next?
Oh, we got to talk about the Trump pivot, man.
Oh, the Trump pivot. Oh, my God, that's going to be a true giggler. All right, we're going to be back right after this break. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Without you, we couldn't do what we do without you. We'll be back right after this break. We'll be talking about the Trump pivot. Stay tuned.